the biggest challenge you have is time. Yeah, it's the one commodity that we can't get back. Now, talking of time, yeah, I want to introduce you to our next speaker. Our next speaker is someone who brings a rather unique perspective to the world of sales. Rotem Rave, the Vice President of Sales at Firebury. Rotem started his career in a rather unique place, yeah, the world of selling semiconductors. High value, high touch. You had to fly out to meet the customer multiple times before you even thought about closing. We're talking suits, ties, the works. And looking at this audience, not many suits or ties to be seen, right? Unheard of these days. But Rotem's got some in his cupboard, apparently, and I'm sure he'll bring them out to show them at some antique fair somewhere along the way. But back in 2014, yeah, Rotem made a big switch. Yeah, he moved from semiconductor sales to what was called online sales. Back in 2014, that was really the cool and funky way of saying SaaS. All right, so Rotem's been in the industry for a while. When he made that move, a lot of people turned around to him and said, "Are you crazy? What are you doing? You'll never make it." Yeah, it's so different selling semiconductors to selling software. Rotem proved them wrong. And what he proved was something that Maria, Orly, all of our speakers beforehand have said. People buy from people, and people buy from people they like. Right? So remember that, right? It's all about creating that relationship. Now, 2 fun facts about Rotem that you won't find on his LinkedIn profile. He told me that people often confuse him for an engineer. Now, when I think of an engineer, I think of a guy with a screwdriver, like fixing something. When Rotem's talking about an engineer, he's thinking of a software engineer, because he loves to break things down into bits and bytes, and it's why he's so equipped to put order around chaos, and it's why he makes a great sales leader. Now, the other thing is, when he's not leading sales teams, yeah, he loves to go and do some individual sports. I don't know if that says a bit about him. He's a little bit of a lone wolf. Who knows? But you can make up your own mind on that one. But he loves to go and run. Yeah, he loves to go and hike. He loves to go and cycle. He calls it his sweatitating time, or time to sweatitate. A combination of sweating, nice, yeah, and meditating. So I thought it's only right, yeah, to give Rotem some dissolvable salt so that he could go and put some of that electrolytes back in his body. So when he comes up on stage, Rotem, you've got a little gift from me. Rotem's session today is all around the 5 challenges, or the top 5 challenges, using CRM for sales leaders, and how you can use technology to put a little bit of order around the chaos. So you're going to walk away with some great insights. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the amazing Rotem Rave. Rotem, I think this is going to work, but there's your little clicker. All right, and that should be live for you.
It is.
Is it?
Is it?
Maybe it's not. Oh, yeah, and there's for when you're sweating next time. Yeah, think of me. Think of me. Yeah.
I will.
Ooh, nasty.
Wearing tights. I will think of you wearing tights.
Lovely.
Thank you very much, everyone, for having me. As said before, it's not working. Oh, it should be closer. I'm not used to speaking with a microphone. We've got, multiple microphones on our laptops these days. So before we start, and as we spoke, people like buying from people. So I want you to get to know me a little bit, and then I'm going to take you through a few slides which you didn't want to see today, but hey, you're a captive audience, so you'll have to see it in any case. On the right-hand side are Shira and Guy, my beautiful, amazing kids, and the reason they're here, except for showing off, which I'm happy to do, is because unlike sales, one of the lessons I've learned, and it took me 16 years, is that parenting is not scalable, not repeatable. It's a different challenge on an hourly basis, And that's something you just need to live with because they'll challenge you again and again. And in sales, if you do things right, if you plan, if you structure, if you build a model, you just might be able to get into something more scalable and repeatable. On the left-hand side, this is a prize-carrying questionnaire. You'll get a falafel at the Kosem from me if you get at least 2 of those right. Fireberry employees are not allowed to participate. Let's start. A unique certification. I don't have a screen on my side. Oh, I do. Anyone can guess a unique certification I have? A doula. Quite unique. Very unique, but no. I'll make it quick. I'm a certified baseball coach. You have never figured that out. My dream profession was to to design bridges. I actually applied to the Technion, and just by sheer luck, I got into sales. But I consider myself as somebody who builds bridges between companies these days. So it's a little bit of a comfort instead of building bridges. I visited 51 countries till today. It's going to be 52 if Hezbollah and Iran will allow in a couple of weeks. Mostly business. As colleague mentioned, I used to travel a lot for business, and it was actually great. Next one is easy. It's IPA. And the last one, well, that's not a questionnaire. Why I love sales. I really like challenges. In my personal life, in sports, in other things. And I think sales is the ultimate professional challenge because you can plan, you can build a toolkit, you can prepare perfectly, but it's always going to hit you with unknowns, uncertainties, and surprises, which makes it just the optimal challenge. You can never really be 100% prepared. And that's something it's a muscle you need to exercise, to be constantly out of your game, to be constantly doing something which you haven't been expecting to do. And I think that's great. 2 more slides, and then we'll jump into the more interesting stuff. Fireberry. Fireberry is the no-code enterprise CRM platform. We actually allow companies to enjoy both flexibility and agility, and those are different terms, at an affordable cost. We have been active for a little bit over 13 years. It's a bootstrapped company. We never took money from anyone. We're profitable from day one, growing week by week, month by month. I'm going to run quickly. As a proof to this paradigm of the agility and the flexibility is the high volume of verticals that we serve. It's very difficult to find an ICP because there are so many of them. But the truth is that if you can apply your own business processes and then change them promptly, that's what makes Fireberry unique. Okay, no more. Let's jump into the juicy stuff. Okay, so I guess if I wake most of you up in the middle of the night, you'll give me some sort of a mixture of those sentences of why do we need a CRM. But I think on top of that, if you did a good work or a good job in getting your CRM to work for you, you'll find out that it becomes the operating system of the business, or maybe even the pulse of the business. It's where the data comes in, people use it often, and you can actually get a lot from it, and it runs your business in a way. And for us as sales leaders, for me as a sales leader, one of my fantasies always, every company I worked for, is to have my CRM as the center of everything. Every platform, every system that the company uses is connected to it, it interacts with it, data flows between one side and the other side, and that brings value. But at the end of the day, the CRM is the single source of truth. It's where I spent most of my time, where my team spent most of their time, and ideally a lot of people in the company spent their time there. Challenge number 1, if you remember the title of the presentation is the top 5 challenges, and I've got 9 minutes, so I'm going to be quick. Adoption. So most CRM implementations fail or doesn't reach their goals, don't reach their goals because of adoption. And this is a good, I don't know if you're old enough to know this movie. I was surprised that some people don't know it. It's a great movie, by the way, Field of Dreams. Unlike the movie, in CRMs, it's not enough. You can't just build it and wait for it to happen. In order for a CRM to become the operating system of your business, to provide a pulse of your business, you need to invest in that, and you mainly need to combat the adoption challenge. And in order to do that, what you need to do is exactly what you need to do in sales. You need to create value for the other side. So it doesn't matter if it's an account executive, it's an SDR, your VP operations, each and every user, potential user in the system needs to get value from the system. And there's many ways to do that. We're not going to be able to cover all of them, but just one example. A lot of people in sales teams, they use the CRM on a daily basis. Most of their work day is spent around the CRM, checking leads, contacting leads, emailing, etc. So if we can make it efficient for them, one task that I do creates a lot of other things automatically and save time, save resources, make it quicker, make it more efficient for them. We got value for them, and suddenly they're interested in using the system. Suddenly, inputting data into the system, into the CRM, which is something every salesperson and SDR hates, basically, becomes something valuable for them because I give you the data, you give me time back, or actions, or value, or insights, something like that. And there's plenty around that you can do for every different user in the CRM. As an example, I don't know if that's going to work. This is a video that we need to try and get running. Yep. So this is just a simple demo of creating value for the user. In this case, the user needs to call a lead. It hits the number, the dialer opens, but alas, I get a no answer. And what happens then usually is I need to start creating a follow-up task to decide, do I follow up later today, tomorrow, to remember something. But if instead of that, this magic happens where things happen automatically for me, then hey, it's worth using the platform, using the CRM. And you can see in this demo, an SMS is automatically sent to the lead saying, I tried to call you, you didn't call me back, you didn't answer, here's a link to my Calendly or whatever, and a task is being automatically created. I'm going to run quick. Data management. Data management is a big one. We as salespeople, sales leaders, usually neglect data management. It seems obvious to us that, yeah, all of the data needs to be ingested into the CRM, and that's it, right? It's easy. Well, truth is, it is far from easy, because the more platforms you have, the more systems you have in your organization, the more complexity your data pipeline is going to look. And even small things, I can give you examples from customers. Here's a quick story. A customer shifted their telephony platform, but the new platform used a certain convention of transferring or identifying phone numbers from the CRM, which was not the convention implemented in the CRM. So the entire decision-making of a new telephony platform, the integration, everything was already done, and now they found out that when they click that phone number you saw in the previous demo, it doesn't dial. So they spent weeks and time and money, and it doesn't work. And this is just a very, very small example of challenges with data management. It's much more than just the reports and the dashboards. The entire organization needs to be aligned on data structure and data methodology and who owns what piece of data at what stage of the data flow. And you need to plan, prepare, and align before every small change. And there's a lot more. In data, we've got quality and governance and standardization and integrity, and there's so much, not to mention security. Who can export a CSV of my data? Is that allowed to anyone? One more video. Right. In this one, it's quite simple. It's very difficult to show a video of data management, but basically, we are using an outsourced or an external SDR company. Do we give them the exact same privileges as we do to our in-house SDRs? Probably not, but we do want them to work directly in our CRM because we want to avoid transferring data between different systems and controlling that. We want a single source of truth, right? So making that easy or planning accordingly is critical. Okay, I'm going to run quick. Pipeline. So you can think about a pipeline as your data visualization of your waterfall, right? But you can also think about your pipeline as a tool. And as such, especially when you have multiple pipelines, as was mentioned earlier, different territories, different teams, different products with different pipelines, the more visibility you create, just same data, different views, basically, the more insights you're going to get from your alleged pipeline. Not only managing a pipeline per se, but using it as a tool to learn, to understand, and to improve, mostly to identify pitfalls where your ICs or your teams are losing traction, wasting time, you name it. There are tons of examples. And if I can give you one advice, because this is something I've done personally multiple times, when you do identify issues in your processes based on pipeline analysis, don't tackle all of them simultaneously. Choose one at a time, talk about it, try to improve it, fix it, give it a few weeks, repeat it. Then once you feel the dust went down and things run smoothly and that problem is solved, continue to the next one. Because a pipeline is just like an iron chain. If you touch one link, the others are impacted. If you touch multiple links simultaneously, you don't know which link made what type of impact. I'm going to skip this one, although it's a good one. I don't have a lot of time. Performance monitoring. When I speak with people about performance monitoring, it's very easy. Usually they tell me, sure, we've got KPIs, we've got targets, and I want to see where we're at comparing to that. And I think that performance monitoring could be more. It could be a compass or a tool if you give performance monitoring tools and data to everyone in the sales cycle, from the individual to the team leader to the VP, you're going to gain a lot. Because if I know not only where am I in comparison to my target, but also how am I doing comparing to my teammates in terms of conversion, in terms of timing stages and all of that. I don't need my superior to tell me that. I got that data. My company provided me with that data. I can improve accordingly. Time is up. I'm going to skip. This is obvious. The only thing I will say about integrations is that don't think about it as a one-time thing. It's an everlasting effort. Platforms change, data changes, requirement change. You need to resource for that constantly. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rotem Rave, our very own bridge builder. Thank you for building those bridges with CRM. Yep, thank you.